Okay. After everything that's been happening this morning, always with my technical issues, it's kind of a joke now every single week that I get on with my guest and then something kind of goes in a different direction. So my apologies to all of you who tuned in right at 10 o'clock and we weren't here. So we're here now and we are going to just get started. Today, this,
Kathy,
yes.
um, I don't know if I still don't think it's going live. It won't let me.
Okay. Says it's broadcasting.
Let's see. Christopher says he can't get on. Let's see here. It's working now. Good. It is working.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Kathy Bacon here with What's Your Story? Thank you for your patience this morning, I must say. It's always something new when I start a show. Blue Jeans is a new platform for me, and I guess it's me. So I apologize if you were here right at 10 and waiting for us. We're here now and we're ready to go. So thank you so much for tuning in. And I want to thank you for tuning into What's Your Story and being interested in the premise of What's Your Story. I've heard so many different answers from asking what's your story, from people telling me about their childhood to listening to their accomplishments, as if they're reading from their resume. There is no right answer. I see it as a fascinating study on people and how they interpret the question's meaning. It's also a great reminder that we each have our own unique story filled with ups and downs, tragedy, triumph, and everything in between. This show is about whatever you decide it to be. It could be personal. It could be about your business, about your struggles and your triumphs. I do know that inspirations begin where your story ends. For all of us, in some way, I am honored to be the host of the show, What's Your Story? And to connect you and your story literally to the world. But let's be clear. Everyone has their own unique story and journey. And what they did or didn't do is theirs to experience. There's no judgment here, no debate, just a period of time in someone's life that they decided to share and give us the opportunity to listen. I call them courageous, confident, and caring people. People who are not afraid to talk about what they are doing or their ideas to help others. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, you have no idea how much I appreciate your support and hanging in there with me, even with technical issues. So thank you. But before we meet our guest, I want to give you a little information about him. He is one special person. He's special to me, and I'm sure after this interview, you'll find out the same thing that I do. James Davis is an agent of transformation and change. I love this. I'm going to start calling him secret agent or something, because an agent of transformation and change is such a great thing to say. He has spent the last 20 years partnering with individuals, groups, communities, and organizations in order to create a space for meaningful dialogue and self-exploration to evoke authentic transformation. James brings his strengths of human connection, compassion, authenticity, intuition, and passion to his work. James believes that world transformation happens one person at a time. James is the owner of Evolve Consulting, a people and organization development firm. James is an organization culture practitioner and leadership team coach. He combines his formal education in social work and his graduate degree in organization and leadership development with his humble childhood experiences to connect theory, life experience, and practice to make authentic connections and to evoke lasting transformation. His most recent project is the Buddha in Red. I love this name. A movement and organization dedicated to inspire others to live life with courage and an open heart. Only when we all can open our hearts and live with compassionate courage will the world be lovingly connected as one. And without further ado, I am going to bring on James. So please welcome James Davis. Thank you for being so patient with me this morning.
No problem, Kathy. Thank you.
Wow, I was wondering what was going to happen, and we made it. So that's progress.
It all worked out. It seems like every time with technology, there's something that happens. So no worries at all.
And you know what's so funny is, James, that every week I listen to a little video saying, okay, why is this happening to me? So
yep.
It's just going to keep getting
better. Learn by do, right?
That's right. It's just going to keep getting better. I have to believe that, or else I'm going to be in trouble. So I'm so happy to see you. And just so everyone knows, James is coming all the way from Denver, Colorado, one of my favorite places in the whole world. And so I'm so happy to have you here. Just really, really happy. So thank you. Thank you for taking time and coming on, because there's so many things that I really want to know, and other people want to know, I'm sure. And first of all, who are you and what's your story?
Well, thank you, Kathy. Well, I just want to say thank you. I'm honored to be on your show. It's interesting that you asked, so who are you and what's your story? Because I feel like that's how I work, and with my work and who I am, is just that really human connection of really getting to know people and what makes their heart sing. And so, so who are you? That's interesting, because I could go on for days and talk about who I am. And I think about, the Buddha in Red, and that's kind of what I'm here today to talk about. But even more so, before I even start talking about that, most of my colleagues and friends that are viewing this today have probably seen the photos that have been posted all week. Thank you, Kathy, advertising this. And as you can see, I'm a very proud father and husband. And I'm just, so a big part of who I am is a father and a husband, and just love my family. And I would not, I don't know, it's something that I'm very grateful for. But when I think of who I am personally and professionally, and I think one of the things that's important to me in 2017 is really connecting both, doing the work that I love and I'm passionate about. That's what's really important to me. And my story, it goes back, if I started childhood, I grew up in Iowa, living with my grandparents, and then moved to Denver to work in the AmeriCorps, where I traveled around the United States working with organizations and individuals that were underserved, tutoring youth, and which really spoke to me as what's my life purpose, is really making a difference and connecting with others, and showing compassion and helping people be the best version of themselves that's possible.
Right. And I think it's funny how that early journey that we were on, we don't really know where it's going to lead us. We just, as a young person, we just do it and try anything, because there's no fear at that age to just try and do everything that we love. And so how amazing for you to have done that at such a young age, and then it led to this beautiful life and this job with passion and zest. And I mean, it's just amazing to me how life really works when we open our eyes, right?
What I think we limit ourselves. Anything is possible. And I think, and that sounds very cliche in a lot of ways, but if we close our heart down, we're not open to many of the opportunities and possibilities that are right in front of us.
Right. I agree. So, we talked a few weeks ago about purpose and passion. What do you see as being your life purpose now that you've had this amazing journey thus far up until right this moment? What is your life's purpose, do you believe?
through all these experiences, I think life experience is our biggest teacher, and really is really to inspire others to live life with an open heart and courage.
Right.
And I feel like from an early age, we close down this open heart. We live in a society where people say, let's try to analyze things and think our way through this versus
Right.
listening to what our heart is telling us.
Right. Right. I'm happy to look over here on Facebook now just because I want to see how we're looking.
Okay.
And I think you need to sort of maybe lean back a little bit because I just see your head really close. There we go. That's going to be better, I think, James. Yeah, that's
Great.
way better. I love that. And so in doing that, Kate Greer has come on, Eric Mays has come on, Georgianne Chapman has come on, and boy, they're all sending you love, all of them.
Oh,
Like hearts and hearts galore. So thank you all that are joining us. I will try to look over at my phone now and again and see who's joining us so that we can give you a shout out. Christopher Macy, of course, is on. We would expect him to be on.
yes, you better be on.
He better be on, darn you. So, yes, and just tons and tons of thumbs ups to you. So,
Oh, great.
you know, you mean a lot to everyone, and everyone knows who you are as a person. So, for you to come on today and talk about it, it just gives everyone so much joy.
Well, one of the things that, I feel like, my husband Christopher and I have such a great support system in our lives.
Yes.
We have a great village that's helping us, navigate this life, whether it's parenthood or our careers, or we just have a really great group of folks. And I'm really grateful for everyone that's on listening to me today, because it's interesting because all of them see a different piece of me.
Yes.
And it's fun and it's been a different part of my life. So some are more recent friends and some are, longtime friends. So that's
Right.
really
Yeah,
big.
it is cool. Well, they're all coming on. They're all saying hello, and they're so honored to know you. Those are some of the comments that I'm seeing. So you're a well-loved person. Just know that.
Oh, thank you.
So we were talking about your life purpose. And so how do you plan, in 2017, because this is a new year and it's just started, how do you plan to move, sort of bring that purpose to life this year? Because you've got some new things kind of going on, and you've done some trainings recently, and I think from talking to you, I really know your passion now,
Yeah, like you said, we talked a couple of weeks ago, and it's interesting because we were trying to figure out, the dates and times and the logistics behind this. And
Right.
and we were what are you going to talk about, James? And the goal for me in 2017 is really to do the work that I love and to really get more clear about what that is. And that's where the Buddha in Red came in. And one of the things that's really important to me, as my colleagues and friends that are on viewing, thank you, know it's really important to me. It's to me to walk the talk. And so if my life purpose really is to inspire others to live a life with an open heart and courage, then I need to do that myself. I need to model that. And one of the ways I'm doing that is living a balanced life, and taking time to be quiet and meditate and just to exist. And I think especially being a father and a husband and a person that's really passionate about my career, it's really taking that time for myself to nurture and be centered. And I think that's where a lot of us get off in society, is we don't spend that time to do that. And so, spending more time personally doing those types of things. But also, one of the things that I think is really important to me is to have the courage to speak the truth in a compassionate way. And I've done this. Our world is in an interesting place with the current inauguration, and we're not going to talk about that. However, regardless of where you stand on what's going on, it's like we need more of this. And it's speaking the truth with compassion for all and what's best for all of us. And so, and just really having a really healthy mind, body, and spirit. That's my goal for myself personally this year. And then professionally, with the Buddha in Red. It's kind of the newest project that I've been working on, which is exciting for me to talk about. And I haven't shared this with too many people. And it's been the last couple of months, actually, it was towards the end of the last year that I really just got clear of this Buddha in Red name, and it came to me. And I'll tell you a little bit more about how that came to be shortly here. But it's really is bringing this heart and courage into the corporations. I work with organizations, both government and corporations, to help them, evoke change, lasting transformation. And one of the things that's been kind of a little bit scary for me is to talk about have an open heart. And in the business world, we don't talk about that. We talk about what's the data telling us?
Yes.
You think about this, and those things are very important. But also is opening your heart and listening and connecting with others. And so I've challenged myself in the work that I've done recently to really take this time to have folks connect and take a moment of silence before we engage in a meeting or engage
I love that.
a session. We really take time. And I just did one of these sessions last week where I took all the tables out of the room. It was just, we were sitting in a circle.
Right.
And before we even started to dive in to build this strategy for the team, we just took a minute to sit and quiet and reflect. And it was interesting because people were like, well, thank you. I ran to this meeting to be here. And so part of that is challenging my clients to be in the moment.
Right.
And acknowledging that.
Right.
And also really to continue to connect with others in the workplace. One of the biggest challenges that when I'm working with folks in corporations is the lack of communication. Yes. And the lack of human connection. And I've spent a lot of time creating experiences for teams recently in the last couple months where people walk out saying, wow, we spent more than half of our time talking about us as a team versus strategy. And the leader was on board with that too. And so I told the leader, I said, our culture will eat strategy any day for breakfast. Right. So you got to get the culture right before you build the strategy.
Right. It's funny when you're talking about corporations, sit back. There we go. There, we can see you better. Your lovely, lovely face. But when we talk about corporations, there's that good old boy mentality of corporations. And it had to change at some point in time. And it sounds like that's what you're trying to create. And I think the world is going in that direction, don't you? That, let's talk. Let's not just keep everything under hat and be afraid to say anything about what's going on. Let's communicate. I mean, what a great idea. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, and I agree. And with your, what's your story? And I think that's so relevant to the work that I do because 15 years ago, 20 years ago in the workplace, we didn't talk about our personal life. It was personal life and professional life. And more organizations are saying, what is your story? I want to know the Kathy Bacon. I want to know what's going on, outside of work. And people want to bring their whole self to work. And so that's one of the things that I'm really trying to embrace with this Buddha in Red is how do you bring your full self to whatever you do and your true self and align with what is your life purpose and helping people understand that. One of the things that I do when I do leadership coaching is we build the foundation of why are you here?
Right.
What's important to you? And it kind of sounds counterintuitive when I'm working with organizations because what are the results? How is this going to increase performance? But wait, hold on. Let's first start about what's important to you. Right. And how do we help you bring that to the workplace and help you be a leader based on what's important to you? How do we identify your values and build that foundation for your house so you can really be an effective leader or an effective employee? You don't even have to be a leader, but if you know what's important to you, you're gonna do your work with passion, or you're gonna leave. And sometimes helping people to understand what their life purposes and their vision for themselves and getting clear on that and having them stand strong in that is leaving an organization because that's not what aligns with them. It doesn't resonate with them. And so it's really helping people and teams get clear about
Yeah.
what is their vision, what is their purpose,
Yeah.
so they can make decisions that are going to help them be aligned.
Yeah. Well, because, too, I think it's great to change the culture a little bit in that direction because we think, we get all these messages growing up. We better work here for 30 years. We better get a degree. We better do this. We better do that. We better do that. And then we go out and we become something that everybody else had made for us, not ourselves. So for me, as an employee, one of the best things I can find out is what is my passion? What do I really want to do? And you're right. Do I really want to work in computers when I really love to work with people? So it must be really interesting when you have these sorts of meetings and, to find out how people really feel about that, because we just get tossed around.
When I've been working with some leaders in recently, and we're talking, all of a sudden we're talking about their passions that they do on the weekend, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking about this." I'm like, "No, this is important for you to reflect on." And it's interesting to see them come into themselves and actually fully live in the moment and be passionate. Because I think like you said, 10, 15 years ago, even 20, 30 years ago, we were told, okay, you need to make money. You don't have to like your job, make money, support your family. We're in a time now where, and the world needs it too, where we are aligned. We live with our hearts are open. We know what's important to us, and we follow that. Where before it was like, oh, you need to be this, you need to be that. So we shut everything down for ourselves versus really leaning into our heart and our mind and connecting the two.
Yeah, exactly. I've got Erin Marie Davis Matting saying that, love you, my amazing brother.
Oh.
That's just lovely. And so you've got other people coming on. There's like hearts going across. People are coming on, tuning in. We've got Kate Greer, we've got Claire Rutherford, Scott Brown, Aaron, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Sarah's come on and said hello. So that's great. Hello. Boy, that's going to be another story, we hope, at some point. So nice to see you too, Sarah. So just wanted to take a little time out so that you knew how many people are still loving you.
Yes, a lot of great support in my life, full of love. I'm so grateful for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. So what do you think it means to live a life with an open heart and courage? And is that some of the pieces that got you to the Buddha in red? Because when I think of heart, I think of
let's do a little experiment.
Okay.
And actually, the viewers at home
perfect
can do it too. So what I'd like for you all to do, is I'd like for you all to put your hand on your heart. So you put your hand on your heart, and I'd like for you to close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Just take a moment. Take a moment to slow down. Just feel your heart. And think about, what does it mean to have an open heart to you? You don't need to answer that for anyone. Just kind of reflect on that. What does it mean to have an open heart to you? Breathe into that a couple of times. All right, Kathy. So since we're experimenting with you, what did you see, or what did you feel? What did you sense when you were putting your hand on your heart and you had your eyes closed?
I sense like really true ultimate love.
Mm.
And I could see a lot of people participating in that with me
Mm.
and just feeling like just letting the light shine out
Mm.
to others.
I love that. That is so awesome. And that is totally you. What I know about you, it really is you about you have a huge heart and you are shining bright. That's how
Oh,
I see you in the world.
thank
And
you.
it's evident by the work that you've done with Pay It Forward Radio and Dress for Success, and I mean all the stuff that you've been involved in, even with this show, it's helping people shine their light, right, in the
Right,
world and
exactly.
share their story, and that's so powerful. And I feel
Yeah,
like so when you ask me the question is what does it mean to live an open heart for you? We all have a different vision of that,
yeah,
and what I really do is help people get clear what that looks like
yeah.
because that's what we want. We don't want me
Mhm.
to, I don't want to define it for people. I want them to define it
Right,
for themselves. So it's
right.
really taking that time. And if we had more time, I'd lead us through maybe a visualization so we would actually get more clear on that. But really taking that time to think about what that means and being open and visualizing.
Yeah.
So,
And that's a nice exercise, I think, for people because I can tell you, I have a hard time sitting down and taking, like, in my mind, it's all in my mind, taking 10 minutes to just meditate. And I make myself do it. And sometimes it seems like a chore when it shouldn't be.
mm,
I'm not that busy. I can take 10 minutes and I can meditate for 10 minutes. So to start a session or a group like that gives people permission to take that 5 minutes or that 10 minutes or whatever you lead them through to get to authenticity of who they actually are.
and to be able to be in a place, especially in the workplace or even outside in the world, to be able to share that
Yeah.
with people. What are you up to? That's why
Yes.
what your story is so powerful. What are you up to in this world? Share your
Yeah.
story. What inspires you? And that's, the Buddha in Red came, at the end of the year, I was um, in a workshop where we were talking about what is important to you, defining your life vision, and we had to do this visualization. And for my colleagues that are part of this, that are viewing, would probably laugh because I was just on fire, like literally on fire. I was like, I'm the Buddha in red, and it's evolved as
I love it.
we did this visualization, and I saw Buddha, and I saw this red, and
Mhm.
and I was like, wow, this is who I am at my core if my heart was really open, right?
Right,
I would
right.
be Buddha in red. I'd be the mindful, peaceful, present Buddha, with the red being the courage to speak the truth and to be myself. And it was so invigorating for me. And I think is really helping people get clear about what that is for them.
Yeah.
Um, is so powerful. And I bet if I asked you, Kathy, what is your life purpose? What would you say?
I would say my life purpose is connecting people to each other and creating human connection. Um, and just working hard every day to just be the best person I can be because I'm not good every day. I think we all have our days. So really just making that a mindset, like today is a good day. And maybe there's going to be pain because we're human and walking through the pain if that's what it needs to happen. And then moving forward and just sharing who we are with each other because the only place people tend to share anymore is on Facebook, you know?
Mm.
So just being able to see your face and my face and our eyes on a live presentation is really important to me because we're human beings and I need connection and I know you do too.
And I think, yeah, absolutely. I think, human connection
Mhm.
is the most important and meaningful thing that we can do.
Yes.
Really, is those powerful relationships that we create
Yes.
with other human beings
Hmm.
um, is what
Yes.
makes life fulfilling.
It does. It makes life really fulfilling. And if we take care of ourselves to the best possible, can you imagine how well we can take care of each other? I mean, it's just awesome to think about. Like,
When I think of this open-heartedness too, is if we can really be open-hearted and
mhm,
vulnerable,
right.
and not close it down into this tiny little hole where there's tiny little hole, there's
Mhm.
like no light shining out. If we really can allow our light to shine out of our heart, we would be a much better world. But the world has knocked us down and
Right.
caused us to constrict this. And
Mm.
that's not serving us or the world in the way that we need to be serving.
Yeah. Especially when hard times come upon us, you know,
Yes.
to be able to gather that strength up and say, okay, what is it that I'm going to do personally? Not what is that guy doing or what is that guy doing or, what is that guy doing, but what am I going to do personally to make the world a better place? Because if I'm doing something, then hopefully it'll catch on with someone else and someone else and someone else, just by the thought that you personally want to make a difference and do something.
And that's one of the things
Yeah, go ahead.
I work with when I'm working with folks, both teams and individuals. It's like, take responsibility for your own power and lean
Yes.
into it.
Yeah.
We, regardless of what happened to you in childhood or what happened to you anywhere, lean into your power, own your power, take responsibility. Then we're going to be the most powerful self possible.
Yeah. So Buddha in Red, now, have you started this business yet, or is it still kind of in the makings and you're growing it as we speak?
So it's interesting. It's an evolution.
Yes.
It's an evolution. And one of the things that I'm working on this year too is not waiting until everything's perfect to launch,
Exactly.
but just start moving.
Yes.
And I guess the Buddha in Red really is it's morphing into the way I operate when I work with people.
Right.
And so we will see what happens and as it evolves. But really now it's just being more clear with helping people. And I hate the word helping, but just being with people, connecting with people to help them be really aligned with an open heart and to have the courage to step into their power.
Right.
So whether that's working one-on-one with individuals, working with teams, and helping them have their light shine.
I love that. I love that. And you know what? You know what I really love? This should be your title. Agent of Transformation and Change.
Love it.
Agent of Transformation and Change. I mean, I can't even think of a better title for you.
Well, thank you. You just gave me my title. Thank you, Kathy Bacon.
I did. I put it on my website as well because, I talk about the people that I interview. So I put it on there because I'm thinking, who came up with this title? It's brilliant because it totally encompasses what you're about. Transformation and change, but with an open heart. And
yes.
I don't know how it could get any better than that, really, James. I don't know how it could get any better.
I love that. I love that, Kathy.
I don't know how it could get any better. I just love you. I think you're fantastic.
Well, one of the things people want, I've started a Buddha in Red Facebook page.
Okay, great.
And as of right now, what I'm going to start doing is just posting daily photos, quotes that inspire you to be open-hearted and to live with courage.
That's fantastic.
So that's kind of one of the things that I'm doing that's kind of more of a tangible thing that people could follow me, Buddha in Red. I know I'm inspired. I have several folks.
I'm writing it down.
I have several folks that I follow that I get daily inspiration from, which I think is powerful for me. And I'm sure you do too, Kathy.
Same. And so, yeah, that's awesome. So thank you. And I get my posts from so many places, like you say. It's like I go on in the morning and then I just start looking and then I see exactly what I'm supposed to see and I hear exactly what I'm supposed to hear. It's just the funniest thing.
That.
It's the funniest thing. Yeah. Like I don't have to search far. It's like, oh, okay, peace. Yeah, let's post peace because that's a really important thing for me and for everyone right now.
Yes.
So that's an amazing thing. So Buddha in Red is on, you have a Facebook page now called Buddha in Red.
Yes, I have a Facebook page called Buddha in Red. So all my viewers and friends and family, thank you for tuning in today. And please find me on Facebook, Buddha in Red, and like my page and follow me.
Yes. Is there other ways that people can contact you, James? Like maybe somebody might want to work with you, or an organization or a company might want to work with you, or an individual just might want to reach out and say, hey, I like the premise of what you're talking about, and can we maybe work together and all of that? So Is it just from Buddha and Red, or do you have an
Buddha
email
and
that you're willing
Red,
to?
or I believe everyone that's watching
Yeah.
or viewing we're Facebook friends, so please message me.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the things that I would like to offer to anyone that's interested, that's viewing, is I would like to offer one free session of helping you really get clear about what it means to live an hearted life with courage. And I would love to spend, an hour with
Very
you to really
nice.
help you get clear on that, and help you find some homework to kind of keep you moving in
Yeah.
that direction.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so please reach out to me, message me on Facebook, either on Buddha and Red or my personal Facebook page, and say, hey, I want to live with an open heart. Help me.
Yeah.
And I would love to either find time to meet with you in person
Yeah.
or either on the phone, Skype, to make that happen.
Well, and I think that you need to change your wardrobe to red, some red stuff. I wore red today. I see you have a red plaid shirt on, and I think you've got red shoes on
So I have red. These are my so I'm going to show you my red
down
chucks. Um, and for all my my coaching colleagues, I would love if they're watching. This is a shout out to you because they were laughing at me.
I love it.
For wearing my
So
red Chuck Taylors.
I know, I love it. Before we go, what is one thought that you would like to leave with the viewers today?
I've been. Thank you for asking that. And wow, what is one thought? And one of the things that sticks out to me, what really resonates with me right now in this moment, is um, something you said earlier. It's like only when we live with our hearts open and we live with compassionate courage will the world be a lovingly connected place. Um, so that's my last thought is step into living with an open heart and compassionate courage, and anything is possible for you in our world. So that's my
Oh,
last thought
it's a
for the
lovely
evening.
thought. It's a lovely thought, and I'm just so honored to have you on the show, James, and I'm honored to know you. Just like all these people, my goodness, Lexi Widman, Kate Greer. There's so many people
Hello,
that have come
friends.
on. You'll have to come. You'll have to have a look. Um, and I just can't wait to see what's going to happen this year for you and for me and all us open hearters.
Open
Because
hearters.
really, and I really appreciate you being on and taking the time, because I know your kids were wanting more kisses before you came into the room to be on the show. And I just really appreciate, time is very important to all of us, and for you to share uh, what you shared with us today is very heartfelt on my part. So I'm sure everybody else feels the same. So thank
And
you.
thank you, friends and family. And thank you, Kathy, for
Yeah,
hosting me. I really
of
appreciate your
course.
time, and it's wonderful to connect with you again. And you're an inspiration to me for many reasons, but
Same.
one of them I'll tell the audience because um, Kathy lives in Thailand, which for those of you that researched Kathy, her and her husband decided, you know what? We're done with the hustle and bustle in the United States and sold their house. They just remodeled and moved to Thailand, Chiang Mai, Thailand, and have been there for over a year. And I just thought
Yeah,
that's awesome. I mean, that's life-changing transformation right there. And anything is
totally.
possible. Anything
And
is possible,
it's
right?
true. Anything is possible, James, and you just have to put your mind to it. And the thing about it is I never knew why I was moving here until I got here. And now, after a year, I know why. And so that's the most beautiful thing ever, is that the journey is really kind of unpredictable until you actually get there. And the things that you learn and the things that you share, just blow me away, really. So thank you. Thank you so much again. And we're not done. We're going to see each other again, and we're going to come back hopefully on another show with another topic that is near and dear to our hearts. And again, thank you very, very much for being here. I really appreciate it. And thank you, all of you who came on and are, oh my gosh, you're sending hearts like crazy. And we feel it, absolutely feel it. I feel it all the way in Thailand. So
Thank
bye.
you.